Start Building Me, my nightly training session that I stream to the web, specifically to Twitch, YouTube and Facebook, to get it out there to everybody who's watching, whether they're my friends or well-wishers from all over the world, on live or repeat, that you have to exercise. Folks, exercise is mandatory. It's become a skew over the last 100 years, say, where people think that we no longer have to exercise because machinery, post-industrialization has reduced or taken away the need for us to exercise. Unfortunately, what they do not understand is that our biochemistry requires us to do exercise so our brains and bodies work properly. I really need to stress that. My favorite phrase on Start Building Me, other than stand up, which is the first thing that we have to do here, get up off your couch, get up off your seat, and realize this very important message that your body will not work if you do not work your body. You can kick, scream until you're blue in the face and trying to find any excuse, but that's all it is an excuse to a fact. And as I also say, something that a professor once told me 20 some years ago is that you cannot argue with facts. So I'm gonna get going because it is my workout after all. I'm just trying to draw people in at the same time to let them know that this is something that they should also be doing every single day in some shape or form. Now, I mean, I walk my dogs, I do manual labor, I go to the gym, I do boxing, I cycle, I do a whole bunch of stuff, but also what I want to do and get people into the habit of is just, 10 or 15 minutes. That's all I'm here for, as I have other stuff to do. I have plenty of things that I was working on, and I'm quite tired tonight as well. But nonetheless, you must practice what you preach, and that's exactly what I'm doing. A few squats. Look at the Start Building Me YouTube site if you want to get a little bit better in-depth description of what I'm doing whilst I'm pumping the blood around my body, increasing my blood pressure, increasing my heart rate, and which will in turn make me relax later. It's just temporary that you're increasing your heart rate and blood pressure. It's not for a long time. And as you can see, fatiguing, exhausting. That's what you're trying to do. I'm trying to get rid of some of this exercise. You don't want to exercise too soon before bed. That can keep you up. But this is enough time for me to wind down after I do a few squats and a few push-ups. And look, we're almost 3 minutes in from a 15-minute session, so it really isn't that long. And you're awarded points and time, and the more you accrue those on the startbuilding.me channel, you can check that out. startbuilding.me. You'll see the tally board and see who's kicking butt on the Start Building Me tally, and in time that's going to be something that accrues points and that you'll be able to redeem for gift cards and different prizes yet to be determined. So until then, I'm going to do some more squats, active recovery. Been doing a lot of poor form stuff today, so what you can do, and the whole purpose of going to the gym, is that you're doing corrective stuff, rehabilitative, balanced, even movements, right? So during the course of our day, we might be lifting stuff, carrying stuff, doing stuff, and it's not symmetrical. Obviously, real life does contain symmetry, but a lot of our movements don't contain symmetry. So by doing so, you can create all kinds of imbalances and stuff like that, as I'm over-exaggerating with my movements at the moment, like an idiot. So I'll start jumping the house. Good to see you as always. It's good to see you sooner, closer for a visit. Whilst we get a few squats out and a few push-ups in the house before I go and make my salmon surprise. Folks, you would be disgusted. Sauerkraut, salmon, bit of lime juice, bit of cracked pepper. Bob's your uncle. Very, very good to me. Do a few kettlebell swings whilst I wait. And as you can see, it's just your sort of hip hinge in there on them. You're not so... I used to sort of go deeper with them, but no real need to. But I'll stick to squats. I don't want to confuse anybody here on the Start Building Me channel. Just want to do a few squats, do a few push-ups, and get back to it. Listening to Glenn Beck interviewing Adam Curry, a famous, the podfather as they call him, the person that pretty much started podcasting, who was a VJ for MTV in Europe in the 80s and early 90s, which is how I remember him. Interesting dude. Always has a lot of cool stuff to say. Loves a good conspiracy theory, and so do I, folks. One thing that isn't a conspiracy theory is that exercise is essential. You have to exercise, folks. I know people go down kicking and screaming, oh, but I sleep well and I drink water and I don't do drugs. You're unhealthy if you don't exercise. So, you know, whatever way you want to cope with it, whatever coping mechanism that you want to try and convince yourself that you're healthy without exercise, you are not. And it doesn't take that much. Some surprise. Yeah, sure is a slap. But it's good. Good gut cleansing, lots of protein, trying to get that 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, or 2.2 grams per pound, which is even more, not exactly the adjusted form for per kilogram versus per pound, but nonetheless, we use a metric system in the Western world, apart from one of our ugly cousins who didn't seem to quite get the memo. 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. For me, roughly, if I can get, my alarm dog's going off. If I can get somewhere in the range of 160 grams of protein per day, then I won't reduce my muscle mass. That must be the delivery man. Keith never quite figures out that the delivery man means no harm. Kettlebell squats are great because you can just add a little bit of intensity without having to change the movement. Of course, as I always say, you can look it on the YouTube channel. It's a little bit more casual, so I don't have to keep on repeating myself, sitting back into your heels, weight go to the outside of your feet, breathe in, breathe out, arms going out as a counterbalance, or you can hold like a preacher and do the same thing. Something that you do in some shape or form already. If you can comprehend what I am saying here on this channel, unless you're from the US, some people struggle. What is he talking about? I find I'm quite eloquent. I've worked all over the world where everybody understands my English, apart from El Americano. I think that explains a little bit more about them than me, as I am a man of culture, a man of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was in the process of fact-checking if Mark Zuckerberg had actually done an actual Murph in under 39 minutes and 58 seconds, he claims, wearing a 20-pound vest, 10-kilo vest. And Murph is running a mile, doing 100 pull-ups and 200 push-ups. I call BS on that lying, filthy billionaire. I've never done it in under 40 minutes, but I'm going to do it to make sure that I get it under 40 minutes. Because if I can't do it under 40 minutes, then there's no way that that little midget manlet has either. And hey, he lied about starting Facebook, so what else is he lying about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in, because I got that good elastic band, butt elastic band effect that I always talk about with a squat. If you get that squat right, you'll feel it engage in your glutes at the bottom, and it pulls you back up, because it's part of the posterior chain, your lower back connected to your butt, your gluteal muscles to your lower hamstrings, or hamstrings in general, give you that catapulting action. So when you get the perfect squat, it will feel coordinated, hence it being a compound movement where you will sit down and you really feel that tension in your butt, and that will give you that elasticity, that elastic response to pull you back up, that drive. A lot of people don't get that glute engagement because in their posterior chain, they don't have that coordination. And that's why with startbuilding.me, I only deal with these 2 basic compound movements, push-ups and squats, because once you get these coordination of the muscles working right, they'll assist you in all kinds of other exercises as well. Push-ups, for example, will help you with chin-ups. It might seem strange to think of that motion turning into that motion, but it has a similar coordinated effort of the muscles involved. And obviously squats and deadlifts go hand in hand, as you can probably imagine. But I think it's more important to learn the push-ups and the squat first. People are always so gung-ho about deadlifts. Deadlifts are the best exercise. Sure, but they're the worst exercise if you execute them wrong. So I always start with push-ups and squats first. Because if you do these and you master these, it will improve your day-to-day life. It's much more common to stand up and down like this than it is to pick up something with a hip hinge off the ground like a deadlift. I mean, they're great fun at the gym, and it really gives you that explosive power, that real explosive feeling when you get that coordination motion down from a deadlift, which you can also simulate just lifting something off the ground like that with a hip hinge. Yeah, I mean, look, I love deadlifts. I like all the big three movements. The big three are the powerlifter movements, which are push-ups, deadlifts, and squats. But they're not ones that, with Start Building Me, we don't have to worry about form. You know, I'm just trying to get you up off the couch, stand up, as my stickers say, and get you into the healthy habit of exercise. I'm not trying to bog you down with form stickler stuff and alignment and trigonometry and geometry and all the stuff that people get into and just turn people off. All we're trying to do, think of Homer Simpson, weight goes down, weight goes up, weight goes down, or butt goes down, butt goes up, butt goes down, butt goes up. Don't overcomplicate things. People are the masters of overthinking things at the moment, which is why I started Start Building Me, is like a meta search engine to take terms to explain to people without them going onto YouTube and being run around in circles by people who are really overcomplicated the process of butt goes down, butt goes up, butt goes down, butt goes up. Like, seriously, folks, this is the essence of it. Once people start bothering you, haggling you down with the really intricate side of training, you're going to lose interest, right? Even I lose interest, and I love powerlifting, I love strongman stuff. But when people are really finicky, like about, you know, the twist of your foot position and the angle of your back when you're going down and stuff, like, it's impossible to keep everything perfect unless you're an Olympic lifter or a power lifter. And mate, honestly, I've got better stuff to do. I don't really enjoy devoting all my time to, say, something like powerlifting or Olympic lifting. It's just, as Homer says, I like to, I like all the meats of our cultural stew, you know? I like to diversify a little bit and do a bit of weight stuff that's just going to help me with my climbing, with my bike riding, with my VO2 max and my other vital signs, which is the most important thing to me and something that I'll get into developing content for in the future. Really, really focus on your vital signs, folks. The only thing that truly matters and the main purpose of exercise is to monitor your blood rate, your blood pressure, your resting heart rate. Really? VO2 max is a bonus round. There's been a link to how long you actually live, and VO2 max and grip strength being some of the best determinants of your lifespan. So we'll get into that later. But until then, we shall do some basic exercise. Now I've gone over time, let's do some push-ups. I am going to do a few squats and then we'll change it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch it up to the other camera. Do some push-ups and get out of here so I can have my dinner. Go see what the mailman delivered me. My only addiction these days, folks, is Amazon Prime. I swore I'd never sell out to the global overlords, but here I am. So my standard stretch after a day of doing anything, stretch your quadriceps, just kneeling down on your feet, as you can see, just sitting on your feet like that, and leaning back a little bit. Feel that pull in your quadriceps. Have a breathe. Spread your fingers, tense your butt, look up and breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do them off your knees if you prefer, if you don't have the coordination or the expertise of doing push-ups. As I always explain to people, it still looks like a push-up to me even when you're doing them off your knees. And in essence, the same thing translates across, right? You are pushing your body up off the ground against gravity, a push-up. There are variations of push-ups. There's you know, all variations of push-ups that you can do. You see people sort of going side to side like that and doing the, you know, close diamond triangle hands, and you know, there's a whole bunch of variations that you can do, but all we're trying to do is push yourself up off the ground. You know, it really doesn't matter for the purposes of Start Building Me. We're just trying to do time under tension, which is, my mic is all over the shop today. Time under tension, which is the purpose of basic exercise. Spread your fingers, tense your butt. That's the real only thing that you need to know. Pump. That's why I think oh well, I'll live for another few minutes. That's all I've got left before dinner. 16 minutes. Keep it going till 20 perhaps. Maybe not. I'm going to do 20 more and then I'm going to get out of here. Always looking at the wrong camera. See, my monitors are up there, so I'm always going to be looking there. Instead, I should be looking here to the camera. It's like in Jack Nicholson's Batman, or rather Tim Burton's Batman. It's like not an actor flashing at the bottom when they're torturing that dude. That's what they need. That's what I need for me. I'm a character, I'm not an actor. There's a subtle difference in there, folks. Anyway, 20 more and then I'm out of here. Spread your fingers, tense your butt, breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any words of wisdom from me today? Anything happened good today that I can speak of? No, not really. Everything was pretty cruisy. All I know is that I miss going to the gym and I have to align that in, get some energy back to do some midweek gym sessions so I don't waste away to a scrawny middleweight boxer, as was the case 10 years ago. Was it 10? Ooh, longer now, 15. Terrible. Time flies when you're a dust collecting neo-boomer, aka millennial. 10 more on the clock, and let's get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And look, that was 17 minutes and 48 seconds with a lot of me talking. That's a good workout. All the blood's pumping around your body. You will feel relieved, you'll sleep better, you'll digest better, and take it easy, folks. Wherever you are in the world, stay away from the news, switch off your media, hang out with your family and your hounds. And have a great evening, and I will see you back tomorrow on Thursday for another video. Max Headroom.